Everybody wake up.
It's nighttime.
Everybody wake up. It's nighttime. Everybody wake up. It's nighttime. Everybody wake up. Everybody wake up. Everybody wake up. It's nighttime. Open up the doors, let everybody in. Ready for an adventure, it's about to begin. We're going somewhere that we've never been before. I can't wait to see what God has in store. So put your cell phones down, ain't swipe time. This is all about Jesus Christ time. 'Cause he's the way and the truth and the lifeline. Hands in the air, nighttime, high time. I got armor, yes I do. I got armor, how about you?
I got armor, yes I do. I got armor, how about you?
I got armor, yes I do. I got armor, how about you?
I got armor, yes I do. I got armor, how about you?
We got armor, yes we do. We got armor, how about you?
We do, yeah. We do,
I say that we got armor, yes we do. We got armor, how about you?
We do, yeah. We do.
Nighttime, nighttime, now's the right time. Nighttime, nighttime, let's get hype time. Nighttime, nighttime, now's the right time. Hands in the air, it's nighttime, hype time. Nighttime, nighttime, now's the right time. Nighttime, nighttime, let's get hype time. Nighttime, nighttime, now's the right time. Hands in the air, it's nighttime, hype time. We are the Knights of North Castle. We are the Knights of North Castle. We are the Knights of North Castle. We are
Knights of North Castle.
we are the Knights of North Castle. We are the Knights of North Castle. We are
Knights. You may notice I am wearing a blindfold.
Sparky, the Knights are over
What's
here.
Over here?
They're over.
Oh,
Yeah.
I knew that. Anyway, it's great to see you. I mean, hear and smell you. I can tell someone had delicious pancakes this morning.
Sparky, why do you have that blindfold on?
Well, I took your advice and put a freeze on my jokes.
But why the blindfold?
You know, my good friend Malvin, don't you?
He's a northern bat, isn't he?
Yes, northern bats are the only bats that live above the Arctic Circle. Like all bats, he uses a sonar system to fly around at night. Since I don't have a sonar, I'm trying to see how well I would do if I had to rely on just my hearing and smell.
Can you tell what I'm wearing, what color my shoes are, or how many fingers I'm holding up?
Absolutely! Just relying on my super sensing ears and nose, I can tell you are wearing a bright green parka. You have on fuzzy pink slippers, and you are holding up 11 fingers.
That's amazing!
Thank you! It's a gift!
I meant amazing. Every word of what you just said was wrong.
Are you sure? Knights, did I get it all wrong? Well, maybe I need to work on more of my skills.
Good idea. How about we bring on the royal musicians while you take that blindfold off?
You know my past, you hold my future, and your love will last forever and ever. All will fade away. Jesus, you remain. Jesus, you are unshakable. Jesus, your love's unbreakable, faithful. You never change. Higher, you are untoppable, stronger. You are unstoppable. All will fade away. Jesus, you remain. Help me to stand. You are my armor. My life's in your hands. You're my defender. All will fade away. Jesus, you remain. Oh, Jesus, you are unshakable. Jesus, your love's unbreakable, faithful. You never change. Higher, you are untoppable, stronger. You are unstoppable. All will fade away. Jesus, you remain. May my life be an offering. Every breath, every song I sing, honor and glory are yours, my King, forever and ever and ever and ever. Jesus, you are unshakable. Jesus, your love's unbreakable, faithful. You never change. Higher, you are unstoppable, stronger. You are unstoppable. All will fade away. Jesus, you remain.
That feels much better. It's not easy when you can't see.
No, it's not. How about we try something that I know you are good at doing? Can you remind us of our banner verse?
Oh, that's easy. Our banner verse is in Ephesians 6:10. It says, "Be strong in the Lord, in the strength of his power."
You got it. Knights, say that banner verse with us. Be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his power. Sparky, are you ready for something else I know you can do well?
Sure, I'm on a roll.
Can you help me interpret this fourth riddle?
Wow. This one seems a little strange.
What does it say?
It's the strangest riddle we've had so far.
What does it say?
Maybe I read it wrong. Could it be a joke?
Sparky, what does it say?
Oh, it says, the shield of faith is not found yet. Direct your search for feet so wet.
Feet so wet? That's really strange.
Exactly what I said.
Well, it looks like we'll be on a quest for the shield of faith today.
And to find it, we look for wet feet. There are some animals that keep their feet in the water a lot, like flamingos.
I don't think there are stories about flamingos in the King's Book, except maybe the story of Noah's Ark. There's a lot of water in that story. I'm going to guess we're looking for a person or people with wet feet.
Well, I know there were people like John the Baptist who spent a lot of time in the water. Also, the Israelites walked through the Red Sea, but that was only a dry ground. How about Jesus washing other people's feet? Their feet would be wet.
That's true. But if we're looking for a great story about faith, I think I know the story we need to read. It's a story about someone who actually walked on water.
On water? Was he walking on a frozen pond?
No, he was actually walking on water, on a lake. I wonder if the royal players could bring that story to life for us. Let's take a look inside the King's Book.
The books of Matthew, Mark, and John all tell about an interesting adventure involving Jesus, his close friends, a boat, and a storm. It all begins at the end of a famous miracle where Jesus fed a large group of people with only 5 loaves of bread and 2 small fish. After everyone had eaten and collected the leftovers, Jesus told his friends to get in a boat and sail to the other side of a big lake. When they left in the boat, Jesus took time to talk to his dad. We just call that praying. As it got later in the night and the sky grew darker, Jesus' friends were in the boat, in the middle of the lake, in the middle of a storm. So what did Jesus do next? Jesus didn't need a boat. He didn't need a life preserver. He didn't need a swimsuit. He didn't even need a rain jacket. Jesus just started walking on the water. Jesus walked on top of the lake, in the dark, in the storm, all the way to his friend's boat. His friends thought he was a ghost. Jesus said, "No worries, guys. It's just me, Jesus." So what did his friends do? They were all still very afraid, all except for Peter. He shouted back to Jesus, "Hey, if it's really you, Jesus, can I come out there and walk on the water too?" His friends were shocked. But Jesus said, "Absolutely, come on out here." Peter looked right at Jesus and climbed out of the boat, walking on the water. However, Peter quickly remembered that he was in the middle of the lake, in the middle of a storm, at night. He began to sink and cried out, "Lord, save me!" But Jesus immediately grabbed him. As they walked back to the boat, Jesus said, "Why did you worry about the water in the storm? Where did your faith go?" When they walked back into the boat, the storm died down. His friends began to tell Jesus, "Wow, if we had any doubts, they are gone now. You are definitely God's son." And this is just one great story from the King's Book.
That was amazing. It was like we were right there. Did that actually happen?
It sure did. Jesus was able to walk on water because, well, he's God's son. But when Peter did it, that was truly miraculous.
I can't wait to learn more about this story and find the shield of faith.
Let's give the knights our castle call out. It's armor up with faith. Remember, we put our fists to our shoulders like a safety harness and we say armor up. And then we say with faith. So we put that all together and it's armor up with faith.
Looking great, knights. Okay, now let them start their quest.
We're almost ready, Sparky. One other skill that all knights need to know is archery.
Archery? As in a bow and arrow?
Exactly. Archery is a very important skill for knights. So let's stand up and practice our form. First of all, you'll need to hold your pretend bow in one of your hands. And with your other hand, you're going to reach behind your back and pull out a pretend arrow. And you're going to bring them together like this. And we're going to aim the bow and arrow. Don't let your arrow go. And we're going to point these at the ceiling lights. We're not going to point them at another person. Let's practice hitting the lights. Bam. Bam. Bam.
Wow, it looks like they're already mastered this skill. Now can we start the quest? I need to find out more about this shield of faith. Achoo!
Yes, it's now time to go on your quest to find the Shield of Faith. And knights, as soon as you unfreeze and begin, your castle guide and station leaders will be with you along the way. Have fun and armor up.
Hello, hello, and welcome to another lab. Come on in, Spocky. What does North Castle bring for us today? Let's see. Mysterious liquid. You know, today we were talking about when Jesus walked across the water, and that really showed the disciples that he is the Son of God. I think we should play with the density of the water and make it sit on top of each other. Let's see how that turns out. Hello, hello. I'm so happy to see you all again. Today, we heard about the miracle about Jesus and Peter walking on the water. And our experiment is going to deal with water. So let's get into it. Now, for this experiment, you're going to need 4 cups. And you're going to need 4 different food coloring. Right here I have red, yellow, blue, and green. And we're going to need some sugar. Regular sugar would be preferred. And for each cup, we're going to put sugar. Okay. For the first cup, we're going to put 1 tablespoon. And if you're using a packet of sugar like I am, you're going to put 2 packets. And on the next one, you're going to put 2 tablespoons, which is going to be 4 packets. The third one, it's going to be 3 tablespoons, and you're going to use 6 packets. And the last one, you can guess it, we're going to use 4 tablespoons, which is going to be a lot of packets. For the next step, you're going to need warm water, and for each of your 4 cups, you're going to use 60 milliliters or about half a cup. So once you have your water in each of the cups, make sure to stir to dissolve the sugar. So once the sugar has dissolved in the water, your next step is going to be using food coloring. And on the one where you have only 1 tablespoon of sugar, we're going to put the red one. Now for this next part, you're going to need a dropper or a syringe. And we're going to start with our blue. Once you've filled up your dropper, you're going to need a clear jar of your liking, and very carefully put your blue liquid in. Make sure you clean your dropper every time you're about to switch a color. In between a color? So after the blue one, we're going to use green. Then continue on with the next color. And make sure that as you're pouring in the next color, that you do it off to the side and very gently. And once you finish putting in the red, you'll have your rainbow in a tube. Just be careful not to shake it, because then all the colors will combine together and make black. I used a little jar, but how big can you get your rainbow to be? I hope to see it, and I hope to see you in the next lab. Bye, and I hope that you remember Ephesians 6:10. Be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might.
Hi guys, welcome back to worship. This is day 4. If you guys don't remember our name, my name is Miss Maddie. Here is Miss Monica, and here is Mr. Andy. And we're going to teach you guys Jesus You Remain. So, we're going to go ahead and snap for the first part of the song. Even if you can't snap, don't worry about it. You'll probably learn when you get older. So it's alright. So we're going to go ahead and snap to the left. And then we're going to snap to the right. We're going to do it 2 more times. We're going to go snap back to left, and then snap back to right. And then we're going to go right into the first verse. So, we're going to take your hand, your right hand, and push it to the back. You know my past, and then you know my future. Bring your hand back to the front, and then your love will last, and then ever, ever, and then Jesus. You guys know what Jesus is? Jesus? We're good? Yeah. All right, okay. Jesus, you remain. And then that's basically the first verse, right? Yeah. Yeah? All right, let's go right into the chorus. So it's going to be Jesus. Put the hands back. All right, let's just do that again. I think we got it. All right, so we're going to jump right into the chorus now, guys. We're going to start with Jesus, representing the nails in Jesus' hands. We're going to go, you're unshakable. Do a little shakeable with it. And then Jesus again. Jesus, your love's unbreakable. Never break apart. Then we're going to do faithful. You take your hand. There we go. Take your hand first. Yeah. And then we're going to show you how to do faithful. You can do it from your head, and faithful, bring that down, and do it twice on your arm. Alright? So let's do that again. So, Jesus, you are unshakable. And then Jesus again, your love's unbreakable. And then faithful, up to your head, and then bring it down. 1, 2. And then you never change. Alright, we're going to go get higher. Grab it from the floor and go all the way up. Higher. And then you are unstoppable. Woo, touching the cloud. Then stronger. Here we go, with those muscles. Then you are unstoppable. Right. And then all will fade away from the ground. One hand, then the other hand. And then throw it away. It's going to fade away. And then we're going to do Jesus again. Jesus, you remain. All right, good job, guys. That's the chorus. All right, we're going to go into verse 2, guys. So it'll be help me to stand. So we're going to put your arms to the side, and then we're going to step out. Help me to stand. You are my armor. We're going to make strong muscles, my armor. We're going to make life. Make like the letter L with your fingers, and then go up and around. Life's in your hands. As in our life's in Jesus' hands. And then you are my defender. Put your arms around you, and then break it open. And then all will fade away. And then, ooh, there it goes. And then Jesus one more time. You remain. All right, let's try that one more time. Ready? So, help me to stand. You are my armor. My life's in your hands. You're my defender. And then all will fade away. Jesus, you remain. All right. Okay, pretty good. Alright, so we're going to do the bridge. This is the last part of the song. But I think it's pretty easy. So before we do it all over again, let's go ahead and teach the bridge. So we go, my life. Take out those L's again. My life. And we're going to give it offerings. So we're going to bring it out. Like you're giving it to somebody. And then every breath, kind of like you breathe. Oh, breathe. And then every song. Or as Mr. Andy says, he likes putting bread on butter. Bread on butter.
Bread.
It's a nice toast. And then every song I sing in honor and glory. It's kind of like you're making, it's an R, it's an R?
It's an R, yeah.
It's an R. Put those together like this, sideways. I don't know if you guys can see. Here we go. Honor and glories are yours, my King. And then we're going to do forever. Do it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to take, not like you're calling somebody, but forever, ever, ever,
Ever.
and ever. And that's basically it, guys. You know the whole song. Awesome job. So let's try it one more time. So, may my life be an offering for every breath and every song I sing. Honor and glory are yours, my King, forever and ever and ever and ever. Awesome job, guys. Good job.
You know my past, you hold my future, and your love will last forever and ever. All will fade away. Jesus, you remain. Jesus, you are unshakable. Jesus, your love's unbreakable, faithful. You never change. Higher, you are unstoppable, stronger. You are unstoppable. All will fade away. Jesus, you remain. Help me to stand. You are my armor. My life's in your hands. You're my defender. All will fade away. Jesus, you remain. Oh, Jesus, you are unshakable. Jesus, your love's unbreakable, faithful. You never change. Higher, you are unstoppable, stronger. You are unstoppable. All will fade away. Jesus, you remain. May my life be an offering. Every breath, every song I sing. Honor and glory are yours, my King, forever and ever and ever and ever. Jesus, you are unshakable. Jesus, your love's unbreakable, faithful. You never change. Higher, you are unstoppable, stronger. You are unstoppable. All will fade away. Jesus, you
Snack, you will need mini teddy bear graham crackers, 2 Rice Krispies, and frosting. Start off by flattening your first Rice Krispie. Then get half of another Rice Krispie and shape it into a boat. Now for the water. Spread some frosting on top of the flat Rice Krispie. In our Bible story, we discover how Jesus calmed the fears of the disciples by walking toward them on water. One of the disciples named Peter tried to walk on water. Peter ran into trouble as he tried walking on water because he took his eyes off Jesus. When we have a lot coming at us, it can be hard to have faith and stay on our feet. Jesus is our shield and protector and provides the faith we need to stay upright. Once it's all spread on, you can stick the boat on top. Then put some frosting on the back of the bears and stick them on the boat. Think of when you were having a tough time. How did God's strength help you to have faith during tough times? Name ways Jesus is our shield and protector and provides the faith we need to stay upright. Now stick one of the bears in the water, that will be Jesus. And stick the other one across from it, that is Peter. And there you go. Let us pause to say a blessing and thank God for our food and all the good things God gives us. Let's pray together. Dear God, thank you for this food, new discoveries, and fun adventures here at VBS. In our Bible lesson, we discovered that your strength gives us faith and also helps us do amazing things. We praise you, God, for all these amazing things. Amen.
Session 4, Balloon Shield. We're going to use our shield to keep the balloons from hitting us or landing on the ground.
Knights will be reminded about the shield of faith in Ephesians 6 as they play a game with balloons and shields. Fill the balloons with air ahead of time. Have knights use markers to decorate paper plate shields. Play the game in the following way. Group the knights into teams of 2 or 3. Give each team one balloon. Their goal is to keep their balloon aloft by using their shields to bat the balloon in the air. If the balloon falls to the ground, have the team sit out and wait until only one team is left. Play it multiple rounds if time allows.
This is interesting. This is interesting.
So green team, go on this side right here. Red team on this side. White team, go on this side. Ready to
We're yellow team. Okay, we're yellow.
You guys want yellow?
Okay, we're yellow
You
team.
cannot use your hand. It is only your shield.
Oh, it's like ping. Oh, it's like ping pong.
Yeah.
Like
Once the balloon falls on the ground, you're out.
So it's gonna be like ping pong. You know how ping pong is? This side. This side. Which one's the shield?
Go ahead and start. Start your game. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I got you.
Alright guys, ready? Alright, ready? Yeah. Yep, pop it!
most fun about this game? What was the biggest challenge you faced? In Ephesians 6, Paul wrote about the armor of God. He wrote about the belt of truth, the breastplate of justice, and the shoes of peace, and the shield of faith that we are thinking about today. Do you think there is a special reason to think about faith like a shield?
I'm Pastor Sean, and I'm really excited today to be able to talk to you about today's portion of the armor. And today we're going to talk about the armor and the shield of faith. And so I just wanted to read to you real quick from Ephesians chapter 6. So in Ephesians chapter 6, it says, above all, in verse 16, taking the shield of faith with which you will be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked one. And so I know that we have an ice dragon, but the fiery darts of the wicked one. That's going to be something that we're going to talk a little bit about after we talk through our story today. But the fiery darts of the enemy, of the wicked one, that's something that I think all of us can understand. We all know what it's like to have those fiery darts come at us. And we don't always think about it like that. We think about all of the things that scare us. We think about the dark. We think about all of the things that we're afraid of. And that's exactly what our story today is about. And so it's about Jesus and the disciples, and it actually comes from John chapter 14. And so just to set up the story a little bit, Jesus has just finished performing one of the best miracles that anybody had ever seen. He took these few loaves and these few pieces of fish, and he fed thousands of people. And so all of this has just happened. The people recognize that this must be a man from God, if not God himself. And they're amazed at everything that he's done. And so he sends his disciples on ahead of him, and he goes up on a mountain to pray. So in John chapter 14, it says, immediately Jesus made his disciples get into the boat and go before him to the other side, while he sent the multitudes away. And when he had sent the multitudes away, he went up on the mountain by himself to pray. Now when evening came, he was alone there, but the boat was now in the middle of the sea, tossed by the waves, for the wind was contrary. Now in the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went to them walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, it is a ghost, and they cried out with fear. And so Jesus has sent them on to go ahead and go to the other side, and he went up alone to pray. And then in the middle of the night, these guys, some of them were already fishermen. These were men that were always out on the sea. They were always out in a boat, and they had seen storms before. But in the middle of the night, there's this terrible storm, and all of a sudden they start to freak out, and they get worried, they get scared. And these are some of the fiery darts of the wicked one. And so they get scared, and Jesus comes out to meet them. And so Jesus has already done these miraculous things, but now he's walking out to meet them, but they don't recognize him. They think he's a ghost. And so they cry out with fear. But it says that immediately Jesus spoke to them, saying, be of good cheer. It is I. Do not be afraid. And so Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it really is you, command me to come to you on the water. And so he said, come. And when Peter had come down out of the boat, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. So Jesus has done these miraculous things already. Now he's walking on the water in the middle of a storm, and he comes out to meet them, and he tells them, don't be afraid. And that's something that I think Jesus is constantly trying to remind us, all of us, all the time, that he's with us. He's promised to never leave us or forsake us. And he's saying, don't be afraid, that I'm right here. I'm on my way. I'm coming to you. And so Peter sees Jesus. He recognizes it. And he says, God, if it's really you, call me to come out to you so that I can meet you, so that I can walk out on the water. And Jesus tells him to go ahead and do it. I mean, think about the faith that it takes to step out and to walk on the water. Just think about being in a bathtub or swimming around in a pool, how difficult it is just to stay up, to stay above the water. But that Jesus was walking on the water. And then he tells Peter to go ahead and come. And so Peter, he steps out in faith. That's what we talk about as grown-ups. We talk about stepping out in faith, to do things that seem impossible. And he says, come. And so Peter gets out and he does it. And it's amazing. Except that when Peter saw the wind was boisterous, he became afraid. And beginning to sink, he cried out, saying, "Lord, save me." But immediately Jesus stretched out his hand and he caught him and he said to him, "O you of little faith, why did you doubt?" And when they got into the boat, the wind ceased. And so Peter stepped out in faith. He did this amazing thing because of Jesus. Jesus said, "Come," and so he did. He followed the voice of God in his life. And so he stepped out and he walked on the water. And it was great until he took his eyes off of Jesus. He stopped looking at Jesus for everything, and he started looking at the problems around him. And for us, it's the same kind of thing every day. There are always going to be things in our lives that scare us, that make us afraid. And it's not about not being afraid. It's about understanding that Jesus is so much more powerful than anything that we'll ever have to face. And so when we keep our eyes on Jesus, even when we're going through those storms, even when we're walking through the dark, even when there are things that scare us or that we don't know how something's going to happen or when it's going to end, that if we trust in Jesus, if we keep our eyes on Jesus, that he brings us safely to the other side. He brings us through the storm. He helps us to step out and to walk in faith. And then when we do that, when we walk out in faith, then we see what happens. It says, "Then those who were in the boat came and worshipped him, saying, 'Truly you are the Son of God.'" Truly you are the Son of God. And sometimes that's all it takes for people around us to see Jesus, is when they see us stepping out in faith, when they see us walking on the water, walking above all of the fears, all the things that want to bring you down, all the things that want to scare you, because we keep our eyes on Jesus. And it's having that faith that Jesus is stronger than all of those things. And it brings to mind Hebrews chapter 11. And I want to close with this one verse. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. It says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." Just because we don't know how it's going to turn out doesn't mean that God doesn't know. Because he's already seen the end from the beginning and the beginning from the end. It's like being able to know how your favorite cartoon or movie is going to turn out. Even though you don't know, somebody that's already seen it before, they know exactly what's going to happen. And that's what it's like to walk with God. God already knows. He's already seen everything that's going to happen. Every good thing, every bad thing, everything in between. And he is perfect. He has a perfect plan in place. And all he's asking for us is to step out in faith, to look to him for everything, and especially when we're in the middle of the storms. And not to think that we ever get to a place because we're so old or because we're so smart or so strong or so brave that we don't need Jesus. Because you're never going to get to that place. We always need Jesus for everything that comes to face us in this life. And so that's today's story. And so we're going to close out with a castle call out. So today's castle call out is for the shield of faith. So we're going to do the castle call out. So ready? Armor up, shield of faith. Thank you guys. God bless you.
Today we will be doing the Armor of God bracelet. The materials for it would be string, twine, whatever you guys have available at home to make a bracelet, beads and washers or any circular beads that you guys have. Step 1, you would cut your string the size that you want it for your bracelet. Second, you would put in the beads and you would put in the middle your washers. And you could either write them or draw them with construction paper. It would be the breastplate, the belt of truth, and shoes of peace. And then you put it together and you have yourself a bracelet. The washers or the circular beads remind us of the pieces of the armor of God.
You hold my future, and your love will last forever and ever. All will fade away. Jesus, you remain. Jesus, you are unshakable. Jesus, your love's unbreakable, faithful. You never change. Higher, you are untoppable, stronger. You are unstoppable. All will fade away. Jesus, you remain. Help me to stand. You are my armor. My life's in your hands. You're my defender. All will fade away. Jesus, you remain. Oh, Jesus, you are unshakable. Jesus, your love's unbreakable, faithful. You never change. Higher, you are untoppable, stronger. You are unstoppable. All will fade away. Jesus, you remain. May my life be an offering. Every breath, every song I sing, honor and glory are yours, my King, forever and ever and ever and ever. Oh, Jesus, you are unshakable. Jesus, your love's unbreakable, faithful. You never change. Higher, you are untoppable, stronger. You are unstoppable. All will fade away. Jesus, you
Sparky, do you see that the knights have returned with the shield of faith?
Yes, I'm so excited.
Sparky, you do know what a shield is used for, right?
I do. It protects you from flying objects.
That's right. It's protection. The shield of faith means putting our faith in Jesus to protect us from unhelpful beliefs or thoughts.
Why do we need protection like that?
Sometimes words or thoughts cause us to doubt ourselves or even God. Our faith in Jesus can help us keep those words and thoughts away.
What kind of words or thoughts?
One thought is that we don't need God and that God does not love us. But God does love us. God sent Jesus to show us God's love.
But what is faith?
It's kind of like you in the blindfold you had on earlier. What if we were to spin you around a few times with the blindfold on?
I would be dizzy and not know where I was. I might bump into things.
And you might get hurt. But what if you could hear me giving you instructions leading you to where you needed to go?
It still might be a little scary, but I would feel better because I know you would help me.
Yes. It's okay to be scared, but we can depend on God to be with us no matter what. It's not the amount of our faith that saves us, but it's whom we place our faith in that saves us.
And that is why our castle call-out is Armor Up with Faith.
Knights of North Castle, do you remember the motions? Say it with me. Armor up with faith.
Let's also say our banner verse from Ephesians 6:10. Be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his power.
Great job, Knights and Sparky. Let's pray.
Thank you, Lord, that you are the one true God. Thank you that you came to earth to save us. Help us to listen to you and hold tight to our shield of faith. Thank you for Jesus. Amen.
Amen.